You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
It's the last PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018, and Business Access TV, as usual, is here to bring you the highlights. I'm Javon Keys. Stay tuned. Mr. Mitchell, so tell us about the theme for this morning's breakfast.
The theme for this morning's session is citizen security as a tool for effective crime management. It is intended to raise the awareness of what citizen security is, and shortly, citizen security is the level of confidence that the average citizen feels in his community and how he feels about his ability to move around in his environment, and what structures the government, the state can place around the community to increase that level of confidence. How the police force and the security forces behave is critical to citizen security. So we're trying to raise the awareness of the population on citizen security and to make people realize that hard policing alone is not enough, that you have to raise the confidence of the citizens in what you are doing.
So how important is it for businesses generally to be concerned about citizen security?
Well, I think it's very important that the level of investor confidence and the level of the business community's confidence is raised in that their stakeholders can come to work, their employees can come to work, that they can move freely around in the community, and that they will have certainty of operations generally in the society at large.
And for businesses out there considering being a part of the PSOJ, what are the benefits?
I think the benefits of the PSOJ are, among other things, that you get a platform to express your concerns, to express your interests. You get information. We have a monthly economic bulletin. You get President's Fora like this. And you also get to find out what's going on in the society that you operate in. Then we have networking. We have mingles on a quarterly basis, so you do have networking with other members and with important influencers in the society.
So firstly, tell us a bit about what First Rock Capital does.
It's really a real estate investment holding company which has as its core focus real estate investments and private equity.
So how important is a company like that now in this day and age?
Well, truthfully, real estate represents the most finite investment asset, and what it offers is above average returns and stability with respect to capital.
So this morning you're going to be inducted in the PSOJ. How does that feel?
Excellent. You know, the PSOJ's mandate is a very solid one, and you know, the PSOJ has been doing a lot of work with respect to, you know, championing and being an advocate for businesses and just the private sector in general. And what better way to express our support than to be a member?
So we're zoning in a little bit on the discussion this morning. It's about citizen security. How does your company play a role in that, or does that affect your company any at all, do you think?
I mean, security, you know, continues to be a main issue and at the forefront as well of all major businesses and individuals as well. So anything that we can do to enforce or reinforce the importance of it, then, you know, it has our support.
Citizen security, in every sense, has become a vital part of effective crime management. And as we all know, the crime that currently pervades Jamaica negatively impacts human development, it affects our economic development, it touches our social and cultural rights at the local, regional, and international levels. We know this, that when a country fails to protect its people from crime and violence, it leads to a breakdown in the relationship between those in power and those who are being governed. Therefore, we have to ensure that the correct checks and balances are made to foster that relationship by creating the required community action plans, better citizen police arrangements, and having an overall coordinated system of crime control and crime prevention. We've seen the implementation of the states of emergency. We've also seen a number of zones of special operations being declared across several communities in the country in a bid to really put a cap on the criminal acts taking place in those areas. We've seen some positive results, certainly when it concerns St. James and the murder figures trending positively downwards. And we've also seen where acts of violence in general has trended down in these areas. What more can we do? We will explore all of that this morning. But we'll also talk about whether these approaches are indeed effective and how much more can be done in this area. Moving right into the rest of the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Howard Mitchell, President of the PSOJ, to deliver opening remarks.
The subject that we are going to discuss this morning is a critical but not a well understood one, I think, in this society. I think that it is fitting for the PSOJ to end the year with the same topic that we started the year with, which is the issue of crime. The issue that has plagued us every year for more than the last 30-odd years, that has become endemic, that has been written into the fabric of our culture, that children have grown up with, that women have had to learn to live with, that businesses have had to write in permanently into their balance sheet protective devices for their stakeholders. I think it is so important that we remove the callous protective indifference that we have developed towards crime and face it in its stark terms and understand its motivation, its structures, and how to minimize it. You will never rid a society completely of crime, but you can reduce its impact and the terrible consequences on your people. So that I think we want to raise the level of awareness of citizen security in Jamaica, because if we are going to move from growth to development, then we need to understand that our human resources, our citizens, the people of our nation, are the most critical component of that development. And you can have growth. You can, in fact, have growth that mitigates against development by increasing marginalization of a society and sowing the seeds for its eventual destruction. So we need to be mindful, and we need to start planning for that.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have more from the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018 after this break.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 20 Tobago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
Every day you wake up, you have another opportunity to make this little island better, safer, a place where we all can be proud to call home. It's time we all recognize that every little thing we do has an impact on the Jamaica we live in now and the country we're leaving for our children. So promise me this, promise yourself this: no more will we tolerate criminals, even if it's our relatives. Tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell them to stop. Tell them no more robbing our children of the Jamaica they deserve. Tell them no more crime.
business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're tuned in to BATV's coverage of the final President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. Let's head to the stage.
I now invite our president, Mr. Howard Mitchell, to make his way to the podium to present the certificates to our new members. So, our first inductee today has joined us as an individual member. Please join me in welcoming Nadine Burrows-Siaga. Nadine has managed Island Broadcasting Services Limited, better known as KLAS-FM. She has also worked with National Supply Company Limited, Stewart's Auto, Silver Star Motors, T-Tech Limited, and Prime Sports. 876 on the go. One of our new corporate members to allow commuters to book cabs and make payments online, making transportation more secure for passengers and also for drivers. Bumblebee Digital Agency, specializing in targeted Wi-Fi advertising, digital marketing, social media management, and integrated marketing campaigns. The company has been reinventing how regional partners connect with their audience through its team of professionals and innovative concepts. First Rock Capital Holdings, an easily understood business model. By owning and managing properties that generate income, developing these properties and selling them for financial gain. Green Solutions International is a regional company created to advance energy and environmental sustainability throughout the Caribbean, with the goal of enabling energy-sufficient communities. Green Solutions International, welcome to the PSOJ. Michael University College. Joining us as a corporate member, Michael University College is the oldest teaching institution in the Western Hemisphere and continues to produce graduates who are critical thinkers and prepared to make an impact locally, regionally, and internationally. The Regis franchise is another corporate member being inducted this morning. Consistently providing client solutions, they deliver 100% managed and maintained workspaces as they continue to build their global footprint. Trend Media. They've successfully transitioned from being an online content provider to a full-service digital media house. One of its flagship e-publications, Loop News, is now identified as a credible local news provider. Let me once again congratulate all our inductees collectively.
To our panelists, thank you so much for joining us on a very important topic, one that certainly has dominated the news cycle and the national conversation where it concerns this issue of crime, but more so, citizen security. I want to thank you and we look forward to your inputs this morning. I want to start off with you, Mark Shields. What does it really take to deliver citizen security?
Citizen security, as far as I'm concerned, starts with some very basics that are important to all of us that live, work, come to Jamaica as visitors. I delivered a speech a month ago at the CIN lecture in New York, and I started the point by saying two things. One is, I've been in Jamaica for 15 years, and in 15 years, 20,000 people have been murdered, which seems an awful lot of people to me, and that's 20,000 people murdered, plus thousands and thousands of families, the victims, the untold victims of people who have lost their husbands, wives, sons, daughters, cousins, aunties. So there's all of that group there, 20,000 people murdered. That's a stark statistic. And then we get back to living in Jamaica as it is today. And I have real concerns that before we get on to the technical side of community intervention and rebuilding communities, that we're not doing the basics. It seems acceptable that traders in downtown Kingston can just take over the pedestrian footway. They can hang their garments in front of other shops. It's at a situation where many people who would like to go downtown dare not go downtown because they're in fear. It is also that when I drive to Montego Bay, and as a friend of mine just wrote to me yesterday, he said he is more fearful of driving to Montego Bay than he is of gunmen in Denham Town and elsewhere. Because as you know, because you guys do it as well, every time you drive to Montego Bay, you take your life in your hands because you see the bad standard of driving. And that is a real threat, and life should not be like that.
Yeah.
The third point I make is something that I've been, let's say, tweeting about over the past couple of months, and it perhaps became even more ironic last week into this week, that, again, the basics. If you look at the so-called licensed taxis in this country, where there are very clear rules and regulations that say that the windows must not be tinted, that there shouldn't be any markings on those taxis, that they should abide by the law like the rest of us, obeying red lights, not cutting up on the outside, all of that stuff that you guys live with every single day of your lives and causes you all stress. And I believe that we have to start by dealing with that. Now, people say, well, how do you do it? I'll take the last one first. There should be a war on licensed taxi drivers and unlicensed taxi drivers. It should be not just the police responsibility, because we always take that short-sighted view, well, the police aren't doing their job properly, but there's a transport authority. There appears to be a very vocal representatives for taxi drivers who came out last week because they were upset about the amended Road Traffic Act, which of course is a good thing and is designed to actually bring us into line. So I feel that we can do a lot. We should be able to live in a normal society, and that means, before we get to anything technical, we need to get those basics right. Not rely just on the police, but just take taxis as an example. There is no reason at all why the Transport Authority, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the local authorities, those who represent the taxi drivers cannot get together and clear it up overnight, make it safe for us. We're lucky, most of the people in this room, I bet, drive their own cars to and from work. We don't have to put up with some of the terrible situations that other people crammed into taxis and buses have to. So I think we also have a duty to them to try to improve things.
We are up on another break, but please stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Thanks for staying with us. Here are more highlights.
From where you sit, Mark Shields speaks much towards institutional strengthening. But I want to put to you the citizen having a responsibility as well, and how the citizen carries out that duty within the democracy. Do you see Jamaicans stepping up to call for the kind of order that Mark Hughes is advocating for, or are we merely bystanders?
Let me say, if I use the PSOJ and its president as an example, we would say that they're not standing up. In February of this year, the president called rightly for an oversight committee to deal with crime and violence. Now it is November, and we have not seen it. How many citizens, how many civil groups have supported that call is really inadequate.
We heard an announcement from the Prime Minister yesterday in New York saying that he's going to be setting up a commission on crime early in 2019.
Yeah, I heard it before, that it was going to set up a summit.
Yes, we heard about the summit too,
yeah,
right.
So it's not new. What I said on Sunday at a congregation in St. Thomas, and Mark Hughes was mentioning 20,000 killed since he has been here. And I've been here a little longer than him. I said that if any year 500 persons were killed who are the brightest and best, influential leaders, we would find the resources and the time to make significant changes. In other words, because it's not affecting us so much, I live in a gated community. Some people have protective services, but anytime it starts to affect us greatly, we will do more.
This is where I'd love to bring you in, Richard Divins, because the question is, how much of a rights-based approach do we take in dealing with citizen security?
Well, this is something that the government has been starting doing in the last years, at least for a program that we have been supporting, which is the Poverty Reduction Program. And in a certain way, the fact that we are supporting the social inclusion of areas of here in Kingston and other areas in Jamaica, the fact that we are trying to promote a better economy in those areas, we are trying to promote the safety, the social cohesion. This is something which is very much related in improving the security in those areas. And in this respect, it is very important. It's very important when the government, or together with international donors, we are supporting the design of a citizen security program in the social aspect of the citizen security, the participation of the communities in the decision-making of the activities, of the project, of the initiatives is crucial. Without the participation of the civil society, without the participation of the communities, it's impossible to take ownership. We need the commitment of the people.
The question is, what are they committing to, especially when they already think that it's a sort of a one-man against the world situation, the rest of the society is against them. They are there ensconced in their own, enclaves, so to speak, thinking that they abide and apply their own rules. Here comes now social intervention, trying to change all of that. But how much will social intervention be influential to the process? What else is needed?
Social intervention will contribute a great deal. It has been contributing and it will continue to contribute. But by itself, of course, social intervention will not do everything. You speak of citizen security as effective crime management. Citizen Security and Justice Program is out of the Ministry of National Security, but it has a component that deals with the Ministry of Justice. When we look at social development, we have to speak of citizen security, yes, but we have to speak of justice. We have to speak of rights. As you know, Peter Tosh had said, he wants equal rights and justice. Don't give me no peace, I want equal rights and justice. And unless citizens see themselves as owning or owning a process of development, of inclusion, they will not feel as if, yes, it is for their benefit. Our experience has shown, and I'm sure JSIF and other agencies have shown, that residents of vulnerable communities wholeheartedly support and embrace social interventions when they are a part of the process. We deal with crime prevention. As you know, crime and violence is multifaceted. It has many different actors, many different players, many different sectors. We do not treat with crime control, or crime suppression, which we see as the work of the security forces. We think that crime prevention is critical to the development of Jamaica, to treating with crime and violence. And crime prevention starts before a child is born.
Yes.
And it goes way on into adulthood. We have not yet, and the chairman spoke about it, recognized fully the importance or the knowledge. We do not know how important crime prevention is, in that we have to treat with it in a sustained, multifaceted manner. In a nutshell, no ministry should get a budget passed each fiscal year without showing the country where in that budget is the allocation for activities to treat with crime prevention. Because it is so multifaceted, it touches on every sector. Every sector has a role to play. And let me repeat, no budget should be approved unless we can see where that sector, what that sector is doing. We welcome the idea of an oversight or a commission, because what we have observed is that the lack of collaboration among the sectors is one of the handicaps. It is something which causes waste, inefficiency, lack of adequate outcomes. And until the government can have a robust, very robust mechanism, institutional arrangement to ensure that there's collaboration between education, health, national security, all of these sectors working in their own way, but at the same time, designing together, implementing together, evaluating together. Until we get that, we will be groping in the dark to a large extent.
And that's it for coverage of the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Are you the parent of a young adult who is at home, not working or not in school? Or maybe you know of a high school leaver who is spending their days in front of the TV being unproductive. Well, pay attention to today's show. We will zoom in on an exciting program in the tourism industry that provide youth with the tools they need for employment. Hi there, welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. That and more in store for you inside these pages. Stay with us.
With Jamming. It's Reggae Month 2019. The streets dance as the nation recognizes this intangible cultural product it has given the world. Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, Linstead and Kingston, the birthplace of reggae. There is an event for the young and the early followers of the music. Come on everybody, let's dress up and go out. Let's celebrate this beat that unites all races. Reggae Month 2019, celebrating reggae's legacy.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, February 5. The rehabilitated New Market Road in northwest St. Elizabeth is now open. $320 million was spent on the rehabilitation of 12 kilometers of roadway between Middle Quarters and New Market. It is expected to reduce travel time between St. Elizabeth and Montego Bay by at least 1 hour. Transport Minister Robert Montague has urged the citizens to maintain the condition of the road.
The road has to be maintained by the government and the people, because it is the government and the people that is going to use the road. And therefore it is your responsibility as a Jamaican, because if every day we have to come back and spend money on this road, we won't have no money to spend on any other road.
The minister says other roads in the parish will be repaired in the coming months. There are also plans to rebuild a tank at Louisville in the parish to produce water for community members. Sport Minister Olivia Grange has committed $7.2 million in grant support for the country's 12 Premier League clubs. The funds will come from the Sports Development Foundation. Minister Grange says the cries of financial hardship by the clubs have not gone unnoticed by her ministry.
So I'm making available to each club $150,000 for the period from January to April. There are 12 clubs, and so each club would receive $600,000, which will help to cover the shortfall that the PLCA had in providing the subvention to the clubs. I've also decided to give the PLCA an additional $150,000 per month, which again will be a total of $600,000 to assist with the administrative work.
The Ministry of Health is reiterating its call for persons to take precautionary measures against contracting the dengue virus, which is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa McKenzie says there are 4 strains of the dengue virus, and even if you have contracted one of the strains, you are still able to get the others. She stresses that there is no cure for dengue.
Once you get dengue, the severity of the illness we cannot predict. The course of the illness we cannot stop. We can only monitor and treat what we see happening. We have to wait out the course of the illness.
The CMO was speaking on JIS's Get the Facts program, where she urged persons to destroy mosquito breeding sites. Still on health, residents of Magotty and surrounding communities in St. Elizabeth will benefit from the opening of an eye clinic and training center. It is located at the Holy Spirit Catholic Church. Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Floyd Green, says this is a step in the right direction and signifies the power of partnership in the development of the nation.
A lot of our residents are unable to afford the services. And especially in rural Jamaica, not only are we unable to afford it oftentimes, we're unable to access the service. So this project, which brings accessibility and removes the cost factor, is something to be applauded.
The eye clinic and training center were constructed with the assistance of the Diocese of Poland and Food for the Poor. The eye clinic complements a health center that has been in operation at the Holy Spirit Church for 8 years. The training center, which boasts 3 classrooms and an auditorium, will serve the Magotty community in the areas of skills training and literacy development. A taxi operator registry is being developed to act as a reference point for persons who employ taxi operators. The registry will provide information on the driver as well as his or her driving and employment history. The Transport Authority is collaborating with several taxi associations and insurance companies to create the database. Portfolio Minister Robert Montague says the registry will contain data collected by each entity.
We are gathering the information as to the amount of accidents, the amount of points, their driving experience, the experience that the employer would have had with them. So when they turn up to another person, the person would call Transport Authority to say, can you give me a background on this particular driver? Their driving history, their accident history, etc., etc.
Minister Montague was speaking with members of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services during a meeting at his office last Thursday. And finally, the University of the West Indies, UWI, will be hosting its Research Day from February 6 to 8 on the Mona campus. The event will feature displays on mosquito resistance to magnesium, cannabis for medicinal products, as well as mammogram and breast cancer. There will also be a lecture discussion on Vision 2030, the country's first long-term development plan which connects economic, social, and governance issues.
We're looking at how academia is going to take that step to advance the Jamaica we want by 2030, and we need to showcase the interlinkages a bit more. So here we are partnering with the university. We are very happy to be doing so because it really gives us the opportunity to bring Vision 2030 Jamaica alive to the thousands of students we have on campus.
The program director of the Vision 2030 Jamaica National Development Plan was speaking at a JIS think tank recently. The 20th staging of UWI Research Day will be held under the theme Driving Research for Social and Economic Development. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
So many wish they could visit our shores. We live where they vacation. Brand Jamaica beckons all from the 4 corners of the earth.
Well, as a Jamaican, I have great pride in selling it. You know, your pride that you sell Jamaica with is something that it rolls off. Jamaica has so much to offer, and every time I have the privilege of bringing an executive down to Jamaica, an executive from an airline or a tour operator or a travel agency, and you take them across the country, you know, the pride that they said, wow, I can't imagine, especially when it's their first time. Wow, I love this.
Build it. Cherish it. Our wealth is Brand Jamaica.
Coming up, the happenings within the office of the Prime Minister over the past week.
Prime Minister calls for the fast-tracking of bills to boost Plan Secure Jamaica, urges connectivity to build resilience, and pays last respects to Dwight Nelson. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the police have mobilized a high-powered team of investigators to determine the circumstances surrounding the death of Member of Parliament for East Portland, Dr. Linval Bloomfield. The assurance follows Saturday morning's discovery of Dr. Bloomfield's body at his home in the parish. While expressing shock and devastation at the Member of Parliament's death, Mr. Holness extended sincere condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. Prime Minister Andrew Holness chaired the first National Security Council meeting for the new year recently. He used the meeting to urge stakeholders to speed up amendments to the Bail Act, which will bar persons charged with gun-related offences and other serious crimes from getting bail. A similar directive has been given for amendments to the Firearms Act. The matters were ventilated as part of Plan Secure Jamaica and other national security priority areas of focus. In addition to presentations from the Justice Ministry and the Firearm Licensing Authority, the Prime Minister was updated on the work of the Major Organised Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA.
He commended the organization for effectively carrying out its duties, which has led to more than 300 cases now before the courts. And coming out of the recent cabinet retreats, government says the Harbourview to Yallah's leg of the South Coast Highway Improvement Project is expected to start by year-end. Final design work for the corridor is to be completed in 6 months by China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, Czech. Reiterating the importance of the highway improvement project, Cabinet said the tender for the first subcontracts will be issued before March 31. The 5 priority areas are Hordley to Long Road, Mancheniel to Fair Prospect, Morant Bay to Surge Island to Cedar Valley, and Morant Bay to Prospect. They will be carried out by local contractors. The other 10 packages will be completed over a 2-year period. On Tuesday, the Office of the Prime Minister clarified discussions from a sitting of the Public Accounts Committee. The OPM said the Prime Minister had not finalized or approved the terms of reference for a forensic audit into oil losses at Petrojam Limited. Though a terms of reference had been submitted, the document has to go through a review process involving the OPM, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and other stakeholders. The OPM also disclosed that Petrojam was not being asked to undertake a forensic audit or appoint a forensic auditor into oil losses at the entity. The Prime Minister's office, however, maintained that once appointed, the forensic auditor's work will run parallel to that of the Petrojam Review Commission and, where possible, feed into the Commission's considerations. By Wednesday, the Prime Minister toured the upgraded Kingston Container Terminal. He reiterated government's intent to increase its divestment of state assets to competent private sector entities for full utilization. The facility is managed by Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, KFTL, under a 30-year concession agreement between the Government of Jamaica and CMA-CGM. Prime Minister Holness expressed satisfaction that the operations has so far employed 1,260 persons, 300 of which are new jobs.
I think this is an example of how the process of divestment can increase the value of the asset that the government owns, because the government still owns the asset, increase the operational efficiency and profitability of the asset for the country and for the persons who are operating it themselves, the concessionaires.
So far, KFTL has invested nearly $300 million into the facility to include the dredging and expansion of the wharf's access channel and turning basin.
I'm very interested in the work that is going to be done by the Resilience Center, not just for tourism, but more importantly, what lessons could other industries learn about the speed of recovery after disaster and building in redundancies and protocols to ensure that we have resilience and sustainability.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, as he launched the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center in Montego Bay, St. James, Wednesday. Based at the University of the West Indies Mona campus, the center is to assist global tourism destinations with preparedness and management crises recovery. Mr. Holness called on policymakers to study tourism's ability to recover from exogenous shocks and apply them to underperforming sectors of the economy. According to the Prime Minister, the tourism industry has grown 36% over a 10-year period, while the economy overall only grew 6% for the same period.
For policymakers, it is important that we study this phenomenon, we understand it, and we properly document it and assimilate it and mainstream it into our practice to ensure that whatever kind of disaster that may affect us, we can actually recover.
The Prime Minister used Wednesday's launch to give the assurance that the island was equipped to handle threats to the tourism industry from pandemics and cyber attacks. Back in Kingston Thursday, the Prime Minister read the first lesson at the funeral for former National Security Minister Dwight Nelson. He was also in attendance at Saturday's funeral for political commentator and journalist Troy Kane.
We are the less for not having Troy around. His incisive and insightful commentary and analysis, his guidance. He was truly a great Jamaican to be noted. On behalf of the people of Jamaica, I want to say thanks to Denise and family for letting us have Troy Troy and the great contributions he has made.
At Jamaica House Tuesday, the Prime Minister met with representatives from the Office of Utilities Regulation. Talks centered on making the emergency calling system efficient and effective by implementing a system where all emergency calls use one number and are answered quickly. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
Look inside the drum. Those are the Aedes aegypti larvae, the one that causes dengue fever. If all of these larvae mature to be adults, and if the female larva bites someone with the dengue fever, it will acquire the dengue virus. And if that mosquito bites you, you will get it.
Dengue fever? Yes. Help prevent the spread of dengue.
Clean up your home and community.
Destroy mosquito breeding sites.
Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Prevent dengue fever.
High school leavers are being trained to take up supervisory and managerial positions in the tourism industry. The 2-year training comes with locally and internationally recognized undergraduate degrees. Watch this for more on the Hospitality and Tourism Management Program.
So, good afternoon. Would you like anything? Would you like any drink, any sweets, any music?
Some music, please.
What kind of music do you like, man?
Like cultural music.
Okay. One love, one heart, let's get together.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Jamaica.
Thank you.
Is this your first time here?
Yes, it's our first time here.
Oh my God, and you chose our hotel. I'm so happy for you guys. Okay, we're gonna give you the best service of your life.
I'd like that.
Okay, and at the end, you can just place your comments and tell us how you feel about our hotel, okay?
Sure.
So, you're the Apache family, a family for 2, and your payment method is by credit card, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're staying 2 nights?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you're in room 36.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, Mrs.
Today we are going to be continuing our lesson on communication, and we'll be looking specifically at barriers to communication.
Well, welcome back to another session of our guest cycle, and today we are going to be focusing all our attention on the guests in the hospitality industry.
2 programs being offered concurrently. The future tourism workers are being trained in customer service and hospitality tourism and management. At the end of 2 years, the trainees will receive certification in not 1 but 4 areas: an associate degree in customer service, AHLEI certification, National Vocational Qualification of Jamaica NVQJ Level 4 certification, and Customer Service Industry Association recognition. And probably the best yet, at the end of the program, the participants will intern at a tourism location to gain valuable on-the-job training, which could lead to permanent employment.
Any other needs that the customer that we have to bear in mind? A timely service. A 2 minutes wait to a customer seems like 30 minutes.
A joint initiative between the Ministries of Education and Tourism, the program is being facilitated under a Memorandum of Understanding. The Tourism Ministry has pumped $100 million into the educational system. It is a 2-year program offered free of cost to trainees. Applicants must possess 5 CSEC subjects or Level 2 certification in hospitality or tourism management. But what is the HTMP? It is offered by the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute, AHLEI, and is the official industry-recognized curriculum to prepare students for work in the hotel and accommodation sector. 650 high school leavers are being trained to take up jobs in the hotel and accommodation sector. The trainees are primarily drawn from the resort areas of Westmoreland, Trelawney, St. James, and St. Anne. St. James, being the tourism capital, has dived full on into the program. The parish's Anchovy High has more than 20 youngsters enrolled, already learning employable tourism skills.
At Anchovy High, we are unique in the sense that we're the only school in St. James that is now piloting the program. We would have received an invitation to be a pilot school through the Ministry of Education prior to the beginning of the 2018-2019 school year. And we gladly accepted the invitation to have the teachers who would deliver the program trained. And so we would have had a number of teachers from the Consumer Science Department. And so we would utilize the principal's cottage and transform that area to accommodate the program.
30 Jamaican teachers were trained by the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute's Certified Hospitality Instructor Program to deliver the course to local youth. 3 teachers of Anchovy High were trained and certified by the American Institute. 2 of those teachers are Olga Clark James and Fayoni Sawyers McFarlane.
The students are very, very enthusiastic about the program. I think they have been learning a lot, and many students want to start the program next year. They are able to see that there's a space for them in this industry, and that this HTMP degree that they will get, along with the other qualifications, can take them places. So we look at the barriers to communication, we look at effective communication, and that is in communicating in the workplace. We have, for the guest cycle, we look at all the different parts of the guest cycle. We have executive housekeeping functions. We look at the role of the executive housekeeper. We also look at inventory control, the guest room, that type of thing for the housekeeping part of it. For the acquiring hospitality and tourism industry knowledge, we look a lot on hospitality and tourism, probably from like 1800s onward. We look at it in Jamaica as well as in the United States. And I think for this has been an eye-opener for myself as well as for the students, because we realize that hospitality and tourism has come a very, very long way, and it has a lot of, it is really, really growing.
Mrs. Sawyers McFarlane is equally ecstatic that the program is targeting the nation's youth.
This program is a wonderful program that they could ever introduce in our school system, because it allows the students to get first-hand knowledge of hospitality training. They are able to learn how to approach the guests, how to deal with guests, how to resolve guest issue as it relates to hospitality industry as on a whole, and it will do very well for them.
I would like to become an executive chef. This program teaches me how to work towards it and persistence in doing it. I have learned a lot of things. For one, I've learned about how to communicate with persons better. I have learned how to manage my time as well, how to work under pressure, and just how to persuade myself as a better person as well. I can say it is a very great program, and I would encourage anyone to come to this program.
This program is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to become a hospitality personnel working in the hospitality industry, and it is a great program overall. I've learned to improve my communication skills, my interpersonal skills. I've learned a lot in the courses such as customer service, front desk operation, and housekeeping operations as well. In the future, I would love to become a food and beverage manager, and this course is also done in the HTMP program.
The Ministries of Tourism and Education, combining lesson plans to secure Jamaica's #1 foreign exchange earning product.
Thank you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you, and do come again.
Do you have a loved one, friend, or client who passed away since 1998? The Electoral Office of Jamaica needs your help to update the voters list with information for these persons, government agencies, churches, insurance companies, hospitals and funeral homes, and you the public. We want you to provide us with the records to confirm the status of these persons. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE or visit the nearest EOJ office. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
The University of the West Indies, Mona, is staging its annual Research Day this month. Get the details next.
Research Day started as a one-day event in order to inform the public as to what we do. The thinking then, as it is now, nothing has changed in the thinking, is that we're a public institution, not as in publicly funded, since we're mixed, but we serve the public. The public, therefore, has a responsibility. We have a responsibility to the public to ensure that they know what they do and what we do and what they are paying for when they send their children to UWI. Research Day starts Wednesday, February the 6th. The official opening ceremony being at 10, and it is open to the public from 2 onwards. We will close at 5. We're open all day Thursday to the public and again on Friday. The highlights for Research Day, some of them you would have become aware of. We have a lot of research on the mosquito. We have Dr. Sheena Francis, who is talking about the resistance of the mosquito, that we're finding that this mosquito is beginning to be resistant to Malathion and to others. There's also the Dr. Delgoda, Rapika Delgoda's team, that's looking on the natural products. We have emerging research, which will be on cannabis. That's going to be topical. The fact that we have one of the labs that's growing the varieties for the medicinal products. This year, FMS, Faculty of Medical Sciences, is going to focus on Well Woman. And everything that is on display is driven by research. So they're going to look at mammograms, which will be linked to breast cancer. They're going to look at the entire age spectrum, from the newborn, the infections in the newborn. So we go with issues that affect development, all the way to sexual health. Our talks, so on the Wednesday night, Dr. Henry will lead a lecture discussion moderated by the principal himself on Vision 2030 and the interaction of research, the importance of research, evidence-based. On the Thursday night, also at 6 o'clock, and this is a highlight, it's going to be on display as well. You would have heard recently of the closure of the malnutrition ward, the TMRI malnutrition ward. So Professor Jackson, who was on staff at the time, is a Jamaican by birth, will come back and will give the lecture, Mission Accomplished. It is Mona Research Day at 20. We have grown from a 6-hour demonstration in the Assembly Hall to 3 days of demonstrating our research. Over this time, we have come to appreciate the major contributions to policy.
As we close the show for another day, we thank you for staying with us. Please like, share and visit our webpage and social media platforms. And tomorrow, do join us again on this station for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 20 Tobago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, and you're watching Business Access.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV. Serious
about business.
Serious about business.
Welcomes you to the grand opening of Maison Chic's second location here at the Arden Emirates Plaza on Arden Road. I'm your host, Amita Prasadwe. Please stay tuned for highlights. So it's Maison Chic's second store launch tonight. What are your thoughts?
It's good because a lot of time I'm up this side and it's difficult for me to go all the way down that side to get something, so I can just come right here and run over to 212. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite?
That's my favorite, all the time.
So you're a past customer. Talk to me about your experience shopping at Maison Chic.
Oh, it's very easy because I'm not so big on fragrance. So when I enter the store, I'm like, what is it that I want? And somebody just comes over and like, okay, may I help you? What is it that you're looking for? Is it for an event or you just want something for like when you're going on the road? And they just help me from there and I'm good.
But wouldn't you want to smell the same for an event or if you're going on the road?
No, that's why I always choose two. One for the regular outing and one for an event. Yeah, because you know when you go to an event, your cologne have your kick like Jackie Chan.
Oh, it's have a kick.
It have a kick.
So welcome one and all. This is the official launch of Maison Chic 2. Did you hear what I said? This is the official launch of Maison Chic 2. Maison Chic first opened its doors at the mini mall of Tropical Plaza, and now we're here at Arden Emirates, and this is our second location. We are a fragrance store that takes pride in providing our guests with the utmost respect, the utmost customer service that you can find anywhere. And don't forget that we are also licensed to bring all the brands that we carry. So we have brands like Carolina Herrera, Paco Rabanne, which you know, like these are like top brands from right around the world, right? And our tagline is explore your outer senses and unleash yourself. This explains perfectly what we do and the experience that we bring to all our guests. Every single one is important. So whether it be that you purchase a fragrance that costs $2,000 or you purchase a fragrance that costs $80,000, it doesn't really matter to us. Just as long as you're supporting us, you deserve the best and the best customer service from right around the world, right across the board. For us, we always say in the fragrance world that fragrance is the ultimate accessory. So when you're smelling good, people tend to sometimes forget what you look like, right? Am I right? Yeah, everybody can testify to this. And in our culture now, as Jamaicans, we have realized that even our entertainers are bringing this to light. So everybody is singing about what they're wearing, and everybody wants to smell hot, and everybody wants to smell sexy. So, you know, it's a very important thing. It's very important to what we do every day, like to keep yourself clean and to smell nice and to smell sexy is everybody's wish. And right now, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has come out tonight because this is a very important venture. We have struggled to help persons to understand that, hey, this is where we need to be. Like, you need to walk into a store and before you can even say hello, like customers are, or attendants are greeting you. We have the best trained attendants right across the board. Like when I say best trained, like, can I hear some hello? All right, so right now I'm going to introduce all our fragrance consultants. Come on, guys, come on, don't be shy. This is our team, and I'm proud to say that all of us here, we take pride in doing what we do. And it's all for you. And I want you to know my staff like by name. So from the end here, we have this is a very important night for Samantha because she actually manages this branch. So right here you have Samantha. And you have Celine. And from the staff of Maison Chic One, that's in Tropical Plaza, we have Cindy. And everybody know me, Pat Marie. And we have the ever so lovely, the girls them sugar digging. And we also have our newest edition, Ches. Give it up for Ches, everybody. So, with all that being said, I'm looking forward for everyone to continue supporting us. And this is a very important part of our program this evening. Now, everybody owns a smartphone. Now, I need y'all to take out your smartphones, please, right this moment. Yeah, it's already out. Now, y'all gonna go to Instagram, and it's at MAISONCHIC_JA. Right? Everybody has done that? Yeah, I see some people doing it. Thank you very much. Now follow us. Come to the store. Take pictures. Come and test. Because, guys, we provide testers for all our fragrances. So come and test. Don't be shy. It's a new age, people. And Maison Chic is bringing Jamaica to life with fragrances. Can I get an amen? Yeah. And, you know, we couldn't have such a great store without having great distributors, right? Yeah, so the people that take care of us, make sure we have the samples, make sure we have the gifts. And right now, I'm gonna call to she's so smiling, I love her. We're gonna call to speak to us now, Marie, and she's our representative from Eurobrands.
Thank you, darling. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hola. Very special welcome to the Panamanian Ambassador, the Panamanian Chief of Mission, and Mrs. Barrow. I am extremely pleased to have you guys here. Of course, you might, and all of you special guests invited. Guys, you know, it is very important for us to highlight how significant it is in Jamaica to have a second branch for one of our clients. Maison Chic came to us maybe 2 years ago, but we have been in business for the past 6 years. You might be wondering what Eurobrands does. We have the license for brands such as Carolina Herrera, Paco Rabanne, Valentino, Nina Ricci, Antonio Banderas, Shakira, United Dreams, Jean Paul, Versace, and many. Trust me, our inventory is crazy. So you don't want to go in there. But what is important is I want you to realize that I did say license. What that means, you're probably wondering, do you need licenses to sell perfumes in Jamaica? You need license to sell perfumes, and I'm gonna tell you why. You wouldn't be able to enjoy that wonderful after work kind of, you know, we give you that value added that other companies, of course, cannot do. We not only give you the testers, but we are also empowering our staff. We give value added products, such as training for all the staff. And the reason why Maison Chic has the best training in the world is because we offer. We do that through our suppliers. Ana Maria Libertini is here from one of our suppliers, which is our main supplier. And we are very proud to have her here all the way. One of the things that I want you guys to realize is that all these efforts cannot be done without the team. Of course, my team is really, really busy tonight, and they're selling fragrances to all our clients, but I have Samantha here that is in charge of our marketing department. Anna is also here, that is our newest member of staff, and is in the administration department. One of the things that I want you guys to realize is that without the importance of the Jamaican market, we wouldn't be here. It is amazing for us to be able to see our clients prosper. So if any of you want to sell fragrances, so you know where to go. If you want to have it done well done. One of the things that I always say to my clients is, if it looks good, if it smells good, if it's good, we have it. If we don't have it, we are working on the license. And if we are not working on the license, it's because we don't think it will make sense in Jamaica. We are the best in the system right here. We are the best in the market.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to have you here. Working at Maison Chic, it has been really great. The family base, they have been really welcoming, not to mention the clients that we have catered to and the friends that we have made. So some of our, clients, they have become our friends. So with that said, I would like you to celebrate with me new beginnings.
Maison Chic 2!
So guys, now for the important aspect of it. Now for the first time, you can go.
Don't be another one. Your eyes, they are low on me. Don't be shy. Take a stroke on me. Get the vibe. It's gonna be lit tonight. No lie, not twice. Pull another one. It's alright. I know what you want. The vibe is gonna be lit tonight. No lie,
So you're the new manager for the second location here. Talk to me about that.
All right, well, it has been really, really great working here. I'm kind of the quiet person, shy, and working here, it has forced me to come out of my shell to interact. And trust me, we have some lovely clients that we work with. The customer base here, well, not the customer base, but the staff here at Maison Chic, both at Maison Chic Emirates and at the other location, the first location, we have quite a different variety of characteristics. We have Patrice, who is very animatic. So, she's fun, she's courageous. We have Hubert, we have Celine, we have myself, we have Cindy, and newly we have Ches. So, it has been a great family base.
Talk to me about the fragrances you have available here tonight, and what's so special about this fragrance store compared to another one?
Well, all right, so we have fragrances that are top of the line. So we have Carolina Herrera, we have Valentino, we have Jimmy Choo. And not just that, but what separates us from a lot of different stores is that we do it by law, we do it officially. So we obtain license. So when persons come to purchase and we tell them, we have to have the license to carry a specific fragrance. So if you don't see it, it's because we don't have that license. They're like, oh really, you have to have a license? So that's what separates us, not to mention the customer service. Like, persons commend us on our customer service, so that sets us apart. Customer service, it's everything, and it's not everyone that can, put on a good show, who can stand, and if someone is being mean or if someone's just having a bad day, you don't, just take their energy and just give it back to them, but really take their energy and, give them a positive vibes. So that's what differentiates us.
You're a customer here at Maison Chic. Talk to me about your favorite fragrance.
Well, there are two of them here. First one for the designer would be Paco Rabanne Invictus, and that would be the Intense. And the second one would be from Bond Number 9. It would be Center of Peace.
It's their second store. How does that make it easier for you to shop?
Well, I work right around the road, so I can just simply come by during my lunchtime if I feel the need to. However, I normally feel welcome in the Tropical Mall itself.
What's so special about their service here?
Customer service, you have to be big on customer service for you to attract certain customers, and that is one thing that they have captured. They have managed to capture customer service because it's very warm, very friendly, and believe you me, they are very experienced. They are knowledgeable about the fragrances as well.
Talk to me about your experience so far.
So far, it's been a wonderful experience. I've been enjoying every moment of this because it's something new, but I've been selling fragrance since I've arrived here, but it's easy because we actually study the fragrances that we sell, so we know what we are giving to the customers. So at the end of the day, we always please their wants and needs that they come to us about. So basically, I've been here for 2.5 to 3 weeks right now, and I've been savoring every moment.
How was the training?
Well, the training has been very educational. Yes, so they have been training us in ways that I didn't know that my nose could have reached those levels. I didn't know my nose had those skills because we have been learning new things.
Why should people come out to the shop location here on Arden Road or the one in Tropical Plaza?
Tropical is kind of a more established branch, but Arden has a lot of fragrances that maybe you will not find at Tropical right now, but it's a nice branch to come because they have varieties. And it's a new place, so they want it to be as much as Tropical itself because people actually know Tropical already. So basically it's a new experience, but it's similar to Tropical because the customer service is still warm and inviting as in Tropical. So it's a great place to come.
Thanks for joining us here at Maison Chic's second store opening right here in Arden Emirates Plaza. I've been your host, Amita Prasadweb, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Evelyn Harris is a maroon healer in Jamaica. She has spent decades making a living from her knowledge of Jamaican plants and their healing properties. The products she makes from these plants are in constant demand, and she's happy to be able to help others. She is symbolic of many persons in the Caribbean whose traditional knowledge is a rich and often unacknowledged resource.
You have to be curious to learn about herbs. This is dog's blood, and this one is good for infection or black tube. And this one is piaba, and the piaba is what good for women who's going through menopause.
She, like many others in the region, can share stories of how her knowledge has contributed to research without being properly credited or compensated. But all that will change as more Caribbean countries are getting on board with a Nagoya Protocol that will protect knowledge held by persons like Evelyn and will serve to preserve the natural resources she depends on. The Nagoya Protocol is an international agreement that focuses on the fair and equitable sharing of the benefits from the sustainable use of genetic resources. It is an agreement that researchers and prospective business developers that use the Caribbean's natural resources need to be aware of.
The Caribbean region has an abundant variety of marine and terrestrial biodiversity, including a high number of endemic species of flora and fauna. This richness is combined with a mix of cultures and traditional knowledge. Also, it is clear that Caribbean countries recognize the importance of their unique genetic resources and associated traditional knowledge, and at the same time know that sharing the benefits of the utilization of these resources can be a way to protect the rich natural resources and bring prosperity to Caribbean people.
The International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, in partnership with the United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP, and the Global Environment Facility, GEF, is working with regional governments, research institutions, and other partners in the Caribbean to support countries to promote the sustainable use of the region's resources.
The needs are envisioned at 3 levels. One is at local levels, working with local communities and indigenous groups. The second level is the national level, working mainly with government and key line agencies that are going to be somehow responsible to implement the protocol, that have competencies according to the national law and the international legislation. And the third level is the regional level, working with CARICOM, for example, with OECS, other regional bodies like tourism organizations or other pertinent bodies that has responsibilities as well in the provision of the Nagoya Protocol.
Regulations will also be established for prior informed consent to access resources and the negotiation of mutually agreed terms to maximize the benefits of the protocol.
The Nagoya Protocol specifically deals with the issue of access to genetic resources and the sharing of the benefits that are gained from those resources. Now, if you think about the issue of sustainable development, if you think about the issue of natural resource management, it is necessary for these countries, who in most cases are small island developing states or developing countries, they need resources to be able to protect these natural resources that we have, these genetic resources. And so any avenue that is going to assist with making sure that some of these benefits come back in order to sustainably use these resources is something that the IUCN is always interested in providing.
The Bahamas, for example, is a hotspot for access to genetic resources for research and development. But only in one case of successful commercialization has benefit sharing with a country on the basis of an ABS contract took place.
There is a soft coral, which is a wavy coral. It's harvested annually in the Bahamas. And an extract from that was the first source of chemicals which are used today in skin revitalizing anti-aging creams. One of the researchers from the University of California came to the Bahamas and discovered a class of compounds which have anti-inflammatory properties. Later on, over 100 products in the world have been developed from the extracts from this coral.
For practitioners such as Dr. Sylvia Mitchell, the protocol will change the way how local communities and indigenous people like the Amerindians, Maroons, and Rastafarians operate.
The indigenous and local communities have to be part of the process. A very important part that the Nagoya Protocol recognizes in this whole value chain is that there are local indigenous communities all over the biodiversity-rich areas that have, over many, many generations, developed recipes. And when you develop products in the end, many, many years later, creams, anti-cancer, whatever, many times that traditional knowledge has been taken into account, but it doesn't filter back to those local communities.
Several Caribbean countries have already started putting in the framework to benefit from the implementation of the Nagoya Protocol. In Guyana, certain key steps have been taken.
Guyana already had a system in place with regards to granting access to its genetic resources. And that system is basically done through the Environmental Protection Agency. We're the agency responsible for granting all access to persons coming into the country to do research. If persons want to enter a specific community to access specific resource, they have to get the consent of that community. When that consent is received, what they do is they have to submit that to, we have Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, and they would usually issue official permission saying the community has no objection with this person coming in to do such and such. When we have that, then we would issue our permit.
For Antigua and Barbuda, much has already been done, as these islands are in the process of depositing their ratification instruments.
This project will allow us to develop our regulations, to develop our policy, to set up our institutional infrastructure to now manage the issues. We don't know when any genetic materials and the associated traditional knowledge are being taken out of the country. We're not aware. It's only those people who will inform certain agencies or certain government agencies that they're taking them out. That only happens occasionally. But in instituting this Nagoya Protocol, in instituting our ABS regulations and policy, we'll be able to finally have a system to regulate this process.
The Nagoya Protocol is helping to preserve traditional knowledge that could be lost as elders die.
Over a period of time, people will come there, people have their complaints, people want to be treated for some ailments or whatever, and people just come to folks who do what they have to do for them, but not necessarily telling them, you know, what is it I have done for you. Okay, if you come, you have a problem with your belly or your back or your shoulder or whatever, you will get the treatment for it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna know all the ingredients and stuff that goes into it. And even sometimes if people would probably show to you, you might see an ingredient or two that they use, but it would be probably the least important of the ingredient that you would have seen.
As the Caribbean embraces new opportunities to benefit from our biological resources, we look to the future.
I represent 11 parishes across the island which have a membership about 5,000. These are traditional farmers who have been growing marijuana illegally for years. Now that we are on the way to have a formal industry, we are working hard to allow standards to fit their needs as grassroots people while working with governments and agencies across the world.
The Nagoya Protocol is opening doors for Caribbean people.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
It's the season premiere of Wealth Magazine Business Access, and on this episode, we feature the no-nonsense Metri Siaga, a serial entrepreneur who has demonstrated passion and innovation throughout his career.
I've had businesses that failed miserably. You dust off your backside and you get up and you go to work next morning and find something else to do.
Showing us what it means to be resilient and dogmatic in his pursuit to building brand Jamaica, and represent his fellow manufacturers as president of the JMA.
Hi, my name is Metri Siaga. I'm chairman of the Jamaica Productivity Center, Jamaica Special Economic Zone. I am the president of the Jamaica Manufacturers Association, deputy president of JAMPRO, and a director at JFP. I'm a 54-year-old businessman. I've been in the business world since I'm 21. Finished university in Florida, came back home immediately and went into my parents' business. Started many businesses along the way. Rent-a-cars, travel agencies, distributorships, services, minibus business. You name it, I've tried it. Some have been successful, some have not been, but you know, the best way to learn is by trial and error, and I tell my kids that often. So right now I am a director at JFP, Jamaica Fiberglass Products, where we're a manufacturing company, contract manufacturing company. And that's very fulfilling to me as a businessman, because it shows how you can take products from raw materials and really produce world-class products with them. My sojourn into the board room, so to speak, outside of my own businesses has been a recently new phenomenon. I have been asked to sit on and chair or co-chair quite a few boards. So that to me is my giving back. And I've mentioned to you some of those boards that I do sit on and how I plan to give back to my country. I grew up in a reasonably normal home. I never thought of my parents as having money or being broke. My parents gave me, I thought, everything that I asked for, but now as I'm old, I realize that's not so. I have two siblings that are natural siblings and one adopted brother. I am the oldest of the bunch by a significant margin. I am 6 years older than my sister, 12 years older than my second brother, and 18 years older than my last brother. So I guess that gave me sort of a paternal role in our family. My family was a typical Jamaican family. My both parents worked. They worked in their own businesses. My mother used to sell life insurance for a while, and then she started her own business. My father had a store all his life downtown. So a fairly typical childhood. As a child, I used to go hunting with my father, bird shooting, and that was always fun, and I looked forward to it and was excited about doing it. A fairly typical childhood, doing the normal things that kids do in Jamaica, climbing mango trees and riding bicycle, and nothing out of the ordinary. I guess a life-changing experience for me in growing up was when my parents adopted a child who was from a different socioeconomic background, and taught certainly me and our entire family a lot about some of the benefits that we had as children growing up that he didn't have. And now he's a full and integrated part of our family. I went to high school in Jamaica, I guess some would consider a soft private school at Prairie. I went there from kindergarten, so I'm not sure why or how I ended up there, but that's where I went to school all my life until fifth form, when I left and went away to college. I went to a community college, Miami-Dade Community College, and then on to FIU, where I studied business management. And truthfully, I can't tell you that I learned very much in college. What I've learned has been coming back home and being in business. I guess college taught me how to study, how to organize my life, how to live on my own, which is a huge thing. But the actual schooling part, I can't tell you that it taught me how to take one and one and put them together and make two. That wasn't what college was about for me. I came back to Jamaica in the early 80s. I finished school, and I had a choice. My father had a manufacturing business and my mother had a rent-a-car company. And I had a choice as to which one I was going to go into and run. It was around the time that the manufacturing industry in Jamaica was on a decline, and I decided to go into my mom's business. That worked out well for me. I remember one of the things that was important for me to know is that I was playing a role there. I wasn't just because I was the boss's son that I was going to walk in and get a cushy job. So I made sure that, and I was saying this to my son the other day, I made sure that I was the first there in the morning to open the doors, and I was the last at night to close the doors. Because I had to make everyone know that I was worth my weight being there. I couldn't just, I guess I could have, but I didn't. That's just not my nature. I needed to know that I was contributing. So I ran that business alone for a while, and then I moved on to other things. I started a couple of different companies, as I had mentioned earlier. Some were successful, some were successful for longer. The current business that I'm in, I started with my business partners now. I started that business 32 years ago, and it's still running today. We employ about 100 persons. And to me, that really makes it worthwhile, knowing that the 100 people that I employ and their 3 or 4 family members I'm helping to contribute to their well-being. It makes a difference to me, and I know that at least I'm giving something back. My parents being in business certainly had a huge impact on me being in business. I used to remember going down to my father's factory as a early teenager, and watching garments being sewed and watching them being put together and help to wrap them and going on the road and selling with him. So that taught me how to be an entrepreneur. It taught me how you buy something for $5 and then you sell it for $10. Yeah, so that certainly helped me and I guess pushed me in that direction. I've had businesses that failed miserably. You dust off your backside and you get up and you go to work next morning and find something else to do. So I have to make sure that every day I get up and my feet hit the ground, I hit the ground running.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today
that you are excellent.
God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 22 Bago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
Being in business takes backbone. It takes a lot of resolve. You're going to fail. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have bumps in the road. And you have to be able to go over them, climb up, over, around, under. However you can get around them, you have to get around them. I've had businesses that failed miserably. You dust off your backside and you get up and you go to work next morning and find something else to do. I remember a colleague of mine, much older, telling me one day, telling actually a government member, he said, listen, I'm a businessman, I'm going to find something to do. So if you make it difficult for the particular industry I'm in, I'll find another. But remember, I'm going to put those people out of work. And to me, that made me realize the mindset was that as a businessman, I'm going to have to earn my keep every day, not just some days. So I have to make sure that every day I get up and my feet hit the ground, I hit the ground running. And I make sure that I know my responsibilities and I know that I have to meet them. Whether it be to my employees, whether it be to my bank, whether it be to my investors, whether it be to my shareholders. I have got to make sure that I meet their demands or I'll be out of a job, one way or the other, either by being fired by a board or by not having customers in my business. I've always liked manufacturing. There's something about taking a raw material and turning it into a finished product and seeing people use that product. There's something about that that's very rewarding for me. I've been a tire salesman, I have been in banking, I have been in the car rental business, I've been in the travel agency business, I have been in the minibus business, I have been in the real estate business, I've been in the development business. And I'm sure there's a few I'm forgetting. But nothing has been as rewarding to me as manufacturing. And the products that I currently manufacture and the company that I'm a director of and shareholder of is JFP. It was formerly Jamaica Fiberglass Products. When we started 32 years ago, we started out as a fiberglass manufacturer, but we evolved over the years. And they say in business, either innovate or die, and we had to innovate along the way. So we now are a fiberglass, woodwork, metalwork, upholstery, solid surface, acrylic. So we have a lot of different factories all rolled into one in a 75,000 square foot facility that manufactures restaurant and hotel furniture for many of the places that we frequent as Jamaicans and around the Caribbean. For example, we did the entire furnishings for the Marriott Courtyard Hotel that's recently been put up in Kingston. We did the Spanish Court Hotel about 8 years ago. We do all the KFCs and the Pizza Huts. So furniture like that Jamaicans go into and use and see on an everyday basis. They're manufactured right here by Jamaican people and designed by Jamaicans here. And we actually export a lot of that furniture right throughout the Caribbean. So that to me is very fulfilling. And it's where I've settled. It's not the easiest way to make money, but it's not pushing around paper. It's actually doing something physical and seeing the result of it at the end of the day. And I like that. Any business that I'm in or organization that I'm in, I try to get involved in the in the associations and the organizations that aid and abet those companies. So the GMA was a natural fit for me. I got on the board, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I guess because I have a big mouth, I can't sit by and hear things being said that are not right without saying something. So I go to meetings and I speak up, and I guess when you speak up, they rope you in to come and do the work. So I was on the board for a couple of years, then I became the deputy president. And I learned a hell of a lot from the president of the day, Brian Pengelly. It's a long process, and it's a hard process when you're negotiating with the government. There are a couple of things that are critical. One, we have to change the procurement policy in Jamaica. The people that are purchasing goods and services on behalf of the government with Jamaican taxpayers' money, I feel should be buying local when and where possible. The current procurement policies don't encourage that. In some cases, it doesn't allow it. And I think that we need to change that. So we've been working very closely with the old MIIC and now the new MICAF to change that procurement policy. And I would say we're quite a ways down the wicket where that is concerned. And we hope to have some resolution within the next couple of months with a document that can go to cabinet, that can be approved, so that you will start to see a change. Because if we're spending Jamaicans' money, we should spend it at home first. When I ran as president, I looked at four things. It was procurement policy, factory space. We need suitable factory space for our members. There is a void of factory space available in Kingston and St. Andrew, and that's where we need to be, near to the ports, near to our suppliers. And we have been working very closely with Factories Corporation and hope to see something come to fruition within the next 6 months. But what we are looking for is some factory space at very, very low rates, specifically to drive development of small and medium-sized companies. The third component is, as manufacturers, we need low interest rates. We are currently paying, depending on the size of your company, you could be paying as high as up to 18% for money. It simply is not, it doesn't allow us to be competitive. And if we're going to be competitive, we need financing at 4%, 5% the maximum. So we recently met with the Minister of Finance. We did meet with the Development Bank of Jamaica. And I'm happy to say that discussions have started to that end. The fourth point, and probably the most serious of them all, is crime. A lot of people don't think that as a GMA we should be talking about crime. It's not in our purview, and I completely disagree. Crime is all our problem. I'm going to leave my contribution to be judged by others. My contribution is putting 100 people to work every day. If I can continue to do that, that alone will be a big enough contribution.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 22 Bago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
I'm Chris Williams, CEO for Proven. When I think of Business Access TV, two words come to mind: passion and performance. In the short space of time that they've been on air, has demonstrated clearly the Jamaican passion for anything that we set our minds to. They have approached television in the most creative and dynamic way, and I'm proud to see how this young station has evolved. In terms of performance, they back up what they say they're going to do. All their programs, all their packages, all their promotions are efficiently and effectively executed.
JAMPRO was a board that I was asked to sit on, and it's been very rewarding. Under the chairmanship of Don Webby, CEO of Grace Kennedy, I again have learned a lot from him. His leadership style, his understanding of corporate governance and things of that nature have taught me a lot. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to work with him and with the entire board and the organization there at JAMPRO. So it's been a rewarding experience so far, and I think the board as a whole has started to move things in the right direction, and I'm looking forward to investment being up significantly in Jamaica. My career is what I do, it's not who I am. So there have been great moments, you know, signing a big deal, any big order. Signing Spanish Court was a big deal for us because it was our first hotel. Christopher Issa, the CEO of that company, really gave us a shot. They were the first hotel that we did. And it really catapulted our company to be able to do more hotels, because we could say, listen, here's a hotel that we have done. Go and look at it and see. And the level of work was world class. And so that was a good moment. But the truth is, for me, it's all about family. And when you go home, you leave all that at work. No matter what big jobs you have gotten or how successful you have been, or for that matter, on the converse side, you know, how bad things are at work. You come home and your kids smile at you, everything is all right. My sojourn into public life, so to speak, or sitting on boards, or government boards or agencies, is a recent phenomenon. As a matter of fact, it's the first time I've been appointed to a board. So I'm going to leave my contribution to be judged by others. My contribution is putting 100 people to work every day and paying my taxes and being a good corporate citizen. If I can continue to do that, that alone will be a big enough contribution. Everything else I do will be brought up to building Brand Jamaica. I think the responsibility keeps me motivated. You know, I know that people are relying on me. I know that my workers are relying on me. I know that the various boards that I sit on are relying on me. And I guess I have an innate want to do a good job in whatever I'm doing. So that in and of itself keeps me motivated. And listen, the fact is that I realize that I'm very blessed to live in this country that we call home. And you know, I don't have to deal with a lot of the vagrancies that other places have to deal with. So I live in paradise. I get up every morning to 80-degree weather and no snow flurries and any of those things. So yeah, What more would I want to be motivated? I remember one time in a PSOJ meeting, Dennis Layla said to me that a good reputation takes years to build, and a bad reputation takes minutes to develop. And I always realized that and thought about it, and everything that I've done in my life, I have tried to bear that in mind. And I've spent the last 50 years building my reputation as an honest, decent, hardworking citizen of this country. So it would be foolhardy of me to do anything. So anytime I get a stupid idea in my head, I realize that it's taken me a long time to build this reputation. Don't go and screw it up now. People do have a misconception about me. People, because of my last name, they think that I'm political, and I'm automatically positioned in the Jamaica Labour Party. Truth is, I've never been political, and don't expect to ever be. Like all Jamaicans, I have a right to vote, and when I go behind the voting booth, I vote for who I want to vote for the reasons I want to. But people think that because of my name or because of other silly reasons, I'm connected politically. When I have friends on both sides of the political divide. As Jamaicans, we need to realize what we have here. We are blessed. Our people are amazing people. What we have to do is we have to stop letting the handful of people that are ruining our reputation internationally continue to so do. We need to stop them, and we need to stop them now. My family life is actually a strange one. I have 2 kids from a previous marriage, and my current wife has 2 kids from a previous marriage. So we're kind of a Brady Bunch type of family. So there are 6 of us in our family now. And we all live close, and my kids are older. They are 22 and 20. My son just finished university, my older son, and he's back here in Jamaica. The very day that he finished school, he was back home, started a little business here. My other son is in his 3rd year of university, and he expects to come back to Jamaica immediately. My wife's 2 kids, my stepkids, are younger, 16 and 14. My stepson is a golfer, so he wants to be a professional golfer. And the 14-year-old, she doesn't quite know what she wants to do yet, but she wants to be an actress, but who doesn't at that age? So, yeah, we make it work. We have a blended family, but we make it work well. What does wealth mean to me? Wealth certainly is not money alone. Wealth is about good health, about family, about friendships, about quality of life, and definitely about money. What is wealth to you depends on where you are and what your needs are at the time. So if you are sick, a good hospital is the greatest wealth to you. And if you are hungry, a meal is the greatest wealth for you. Most people view wealth as money and money only. And money is very important. It can buy a lot of things. But a couple of things it can't buy is love and health.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Jamaica's efforts at addressing teen pregnancy and in particular providing support to young girls who become pregnant while in school is considered a best practice by many. The Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation, WCJF, is a safe haven for these girls. Thanks to the WCJF, these girls can continue to realize their dreams and aspirations.
The Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation is a government initiative that was established in 1978 as a response to the high rates of adolescent pregnancy. At the time, the rate was around about 31–32%. And of course, you will agree that that really was bad for nation building. So, as a matter of fact, let me say that at that time, the girls would be pregnant and then they would drop out of school and you wouldn't see or hear from them again until maybe they resurface with 2 other babies and maybe 3 other baby fathers, kind of a thing. That kind of scenario would really get us into deep waters as a country. So the government therefore said we have to do something about that. Hence the Women's Center. So the girls drop out and they would come to us while they're pregnant. After the birth of their babies, they would be returned to the formal school system. And I'm carefully saying return because now we have a national reintegration policy that makes it mandatory for the girls to go back to school. And the policy was accepted in Cabinet in 2013. Prior to that, the Women's Center staff would have had to go to the schools to negotiate the spaces for the girls. So the mandate of the program is for us to provide continuing education for adolescent mothers during their pregnancy and have them reintegrated into the formal school system after the birth of their babies. The program is delivered across Ireland at 7 main centers and 11 outreach stations. So we pretty much are in every single parish. And that's important because we want all the adolescent mothers in Jamaica to access this wonderful program of intervention instead of sitting down at home, feeling sorry for themselves, twiddling thumbs and wondering what next and so on. No. So your stomach is growing, but in the meantime, your brain must also be developed. You must continue that matter of advancing your education as an adolescent mother. It's not just about the girl now, it's about her baby also, because the research shows that if the adolescent mothers are educated, then the chances of their offspring being educated is also significantly increased, unlike those girls who do not continue their education after they've had their babies and would not therefore have completed their secondary education. Our thing is, these adolescent mothers must complete secondary education, and that's what we do, we work towards. So even after reintegration, we monitor the girls for as long as they are in school to ensure that there are no impediments that would cause them to drop out a second time. Now, the research also shows that they are at risk of dropping out a second time. So all of what would have been done in the 1 year of the intervention would have been erased, so to speak, or further delayed if they, after reintegration, drop out a second time. We don't want that. We don't have the money to waste, and they don't have the time to waste. And they can't afford to waste that time either because they have themselves, they have their babies to look about, you know, and all. So we monitor the girls is the point I'm making, and we offer whatever assistance may be needed. So we do the home visits and we do the school visits to ensure they are in school and to ensure that they're getting along. We collaborate with the guidance counselors also, just to make sure, again, that the girls are still in school and are completing. We work with other agencies. For example, coming to mind readily is the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. We want to ensure that if the girls qualify for the PATH benefit, then yes, they are receiving the PATH benefit. And there are no two ways about it. They are going to need that financial assistance. It's another mouth to feed now. And remember, the girls are, in a lot of instances, from very poor circumstances. Having the expense of the baby, juggling that or balancing that with the expense of the school paying for her subjects, paying for her uniforms. We've known girls who can't assume the place because they can't buy the uniform, they can't buy the books, they can't pay the school fees, mind you. And so you really don't, we have to walk beside her while she's at the Women's Center, while she goes back to school, and the day she puts on her gown and marches up to receive her, you know. And even after that, we still keep in touch with the girls to see how they're advancing. One of the things we say is, no, you finish this, you've crossed this hurdle sufficiently well. Hey man, there's other things for you to do with your young life. Several of the girls advance to tertiary level education and do well. Some persons say I'm not to say it, but I will say it, and I always say, any profession that you can think of, chances are you will find a past student of the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation. And I want to make that distinction very clear, because we find the program is not mandatory, so you have a number of adolescent mothers who do not access the intervention. So we want to say to all the adolescent mothers, come. There are some girls who get themselves back into school after the birth of their babies, and that speaks to the sense of purpose that they have. But remember, and I did say earlier, they are at risk of a second dropout. Because it's not easy to, it's one thing to be a student, it's another thing to be a student and a mother at the same time. Mothers are always going to be thinking what's going on with the baby. So yes, teacher is teaching, but you can hear, I wonder if the baby is okay. So one of the things we do at the Women's Center, therefore, is to sufficiently position the girl, prepare her for reintegration. Granted, they go back to school depending on the time of the school year and when it is they have their baby. What we say though is they must come back to us after the birth of the baby for at least one term so we can situate them to go back to school. We don't want anybody with a second pregnancy before they complete, and we don't want anybody dropping out a second time. Completion is the name of the game that we play. We want to make an appeal to older men to, for God's sake, leave the girls alone. Stop it. And yes, they'll say, but it's the girls who are pushing themselves on us as older men. But you must know better. You should know better. And sometimes these are fathers themselves and grandfathers. So it's your position now to help to straighten her out and send her back on the right track. We have to help them. That's just how it is. And that's why we have the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
Adam & Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 20 Tobago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam & Eve. Gift certificates available.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Chantal Fuller is one such person who is thankful to the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation for enabling her to sit the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate examinations, for which she was preparing when she found out that she was carrying a child.
I got pregnant at a tender age. My uncle told me about the school and I came here and I talked to Mrs. Lewis and got the opportunity to board here. And I boarded here and I started my class September morning early with a big tummy in front of me. I was about 6 months pregnant at the time, and at first it was hard to adjust to the situation that I am pregnant. I thought I was going to die. I even thought of killing myself at a point, and my uncle is a pastor and he spoke to me and he said, I know it's tough right now, and you will get through it. You will get through it and you will see the good out of it. I'm like, no, there's no good. Get pregnant, I won't be graduating. I'm not going to make my mommy proud. But at the end of the day, I did. And for the first in a long while, when I graduated from HeCoin, she looked at me and she said, Sean, I'm very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you. And I know a lot of persons who have done their sexy with me and they didn't pass all of them. They have to go back to school to do 3, 4, and I passed all of mine with a child. So I'm very proud of myself for doing that. It was very hard to adjust the shame, the disgrace, the community looking down on you. Oh, you get pregnant at such a tender age. Having sex, can't believe you're having sex. But I went through it. The experience was a very, very, very good experience. I actually miss this school more than how I miss Holy Child High School. And here they advise you to be a good woman, a good young lady, to think of yourself. Don't put anybody else in front of you and your child. You must always have yourself and your child first at heart. The teachers were excellent. I had a problem with math, and my math teacher, he took his time with us because most of us in the class had a problem with math. So he took his time with us, and he even had a Saturday class for us. And it was such a good experience. I passed 7 6 subjects, and 1 4 2s and 2 3s. And I'm looking forward to becoming an entrepreneur, so I want to study business management at the university.
We're basically responsible for ensuring that all the activities, both at the head office and the external offices, main centers and outreach, are basically operating the way it ought to. The programs are being delivered as is mandated, as we would have liked to achieve the optimal output of the program. Basically what we do is ensure that for the skill training part of the program, different skill training is being done in different centers. So take Mandeville for example, there's cosmetology being done with the girls there, and this ensure that whatever it is, you're coming in for that period, yes, you're getting the education, but you're also learning a skill, that for the period that you're here, you're able to leave and be able to do something. We have sewing, needlecraft, that's being done as well. There is data operations and commercial food preparations, which has recently been certified by HEART here at the main center. The CSEC program is what you're talking about for the set of subjects, because you find that now a number of our girls coming in at 16 to 17 age group and may not have been going back into the formal school system after completing their stint here. So we allow them to sit the CSEC program. So you can do your subjects here, whatever we have it, all the same subjects that they would be sitting normally in the regular school system. So we have math, English, social studies, human and social social biology, IT, whatever it is. So you know you'd have to, the matriculation is that you would sit your subject based on your passings, your grades, whatever, and you are registered. Kingston Center is a registered site for the CSEC group. And we have recently launched our virtual CSEC program, where the girls from the rural sites would need to come in. The outer centers, Mandeville, Savanna-la-Mar, Montego Bay, would need to come in to sit their CSEC programs in Kingston. And that would mean that they'd be away from the family for the week to be having classes here. So the virtual program, what it does now is take the teaching to them in the respective sites. So we have increased that number of persons sitting the CSEC programs because of the fact that we're able to take the service to them, to the sites where they are. We have had a number of persons now coming in to do the program. We have our lecturers here. The teacher would be sitting here, and via the medium that we use, the students would log in from their respective sites to have the virtual classes. So they'll do their tests, do the component, the entire thing is delivered from here.
Your child is your motivator. Because when I was going to Holy Childhood, I didn't even want to do SBA. Oh my. I was doing 10 subjects, and when I saw I have 5 SBAs, 3 labs, I'm like, hell no. I'm not going to do it. So even though getting pregnant was bad, it was also something good because I passed all of my subjects. When I was pregnant, I always said to myself, I have to do this for my child. If I don't do it for me, he didn't ask to be in this world, is that he can leave anytime and I'm going to have him, so I have to do this for him. It's hard though, because you have people looking at you and say, whoa, you get pregnant, come on, go from your source. That's how they deal with you. Because I didn't know I was pregnant until like 5 months after, because I have body, I was still going through my cycle and everything, so I didn't have an idea. And when September morning, my friend called, Sean, everybody up at school I talk about you, say you're gonna breed. And they talk, and I hear, and they see me, and they come and they smile with me, and like, walk on, how is the baby? And like, he's okay, and I just, because I know they're not with me. They just talk, and when they see you, they have this big smile on their faces. So it was kind of tough seeing that. So, oh boy, motivate. You have to motivate yourself. If you don't motivate yourself, no matter how low your self-esteem is, you have to motivate yourself, because you have somebody else with you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Violence against women is a violation of human rights. Its impact ranges from immediate to long-term physical, mental, and sexual consequences, sometimes resulting in death. It negatively impacts women's general well-being and can prevent us from fully participating in society. Be a better human being. No more violence against women. No more.
I'm Shani Jajo, and you're watching Business Access.
The Women's Center has also helped Natalie, who now works with the organization.
My role as a projects coordinator is to develop, coordinate projects, workshops, seminars, write proposals for donors from within the island or overseas, and just about anywhere we can get funding, and to see all those projects, carried out. I became pregnant in my teenage years. It was a very traumatic experience for me. I shed many tears. Then, I came to the Women's Center, and here was like a safe haven for me. There were other girls, in the same situation who I got a lot of support from. And the counselors here, they are so wonderful. And the academic program here is similar to the formal school system. So therefore, you are kept abreast in academics. So your few months here, or your tenure, which is more so 1 year, you're not left behind when you return to the formal school system. Here the counselors give you a ton of support, and you are given parenting workshops. You are motivated daily. There's not one day that you weren't, told you can be somebody. You should be an empowered female. You are special, you are loved, you are wonderful. That's how we are treated at the Women's Center. When I just found out, it was like heaven crashing down on me. That's how it was. My parents, they really, get down on me, really talking to me very hard, which is expected. They are parents, and in some ways, they weren't expecting this from you. And I really felt that I've let them down. I really felt bad, extremely bad. Because yes, we had sex, but then you didn't want a baby. You didn't go for a baby. Yes, it was wrong. But in our teenage years, we experimented, but we didn't want a baby. There was no baby intended, but it came, and the fact is, it has to be dealt with. You were like an eyesore. Persons would pass and look at you and laugh and make rude comments, and it just wasn't accepted widely back then. But now people are more educated, and it is now seen that young miss can move on from there and be a productive citizen. Back then, people would, look at you and say, oh, she's no good anymore. Her life is over. But no, it's not so. I've done reflections, and I said, you know what? Yes, I got pregnant at that, tender age, but I'm not ashamed of it. If I did make amends, if I did make something of myself, if I weren't a productive citizen of this society, then maybe I would have been ashamed, and start maybe even cursing the child and say, you be a downfall. I use it and I rise.
Girls who are pregnant now, don't give up. Don't give up, don't give in. Don't let, because of the situation, you're going to feel worthless and helpless. Let that baby that's growing inside of you be your motivation. Let that child be your motivation. Don't depend on the father. He can go anytime. Get your education. Even if it's to go to school and just do a course, even a customer service course, do something for yourself that you can help your child. Don't depend on anybody but yourself.
Before coming to the Women's Center, oh my God, I was feeling really bad about myself. But coming here, I left here as an empowered female. And from that day, I did not forget that. In falling down, we rise. And sometimes we need persons to help us rise. And the Women's Center is an institution that helps people to rise.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
The Caribbean is a rich biodiversity hotspot. It has over 11,000 plant species, and about 72 of these are found only in this region. This richness also extends to the Caribbean people. Their traditional knowledge of the region's varied natural resources has integrated nature into the economic and health sectors worldwide. It has also drawn many to research and use the region's biodiversity for medicinal, cosmetic, and pharmaceutical purposes. For example, the glaucoma medication Canasol is made from cannabis. However, Caribbean islands have fallen prey to biopiracy, where a country's resources are accessed and developed commercially, but the country gets little or no benefit from it. As the world benefits from the Caribbean's biodiversity, countries need to be compensated for their commercial use. Lawmakers need to ensure that their countries are legally prepared to give access to and benefits from commercial use of genetic resources. To ensure prior informed consent and mutually agreed terms of access established by the Nagoya Protocol, the Global Environment Facility, GEF, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, are jointly providing support to countries at different levels in order to advance towards functional access and benefit sharing. Under the Nagoya Protocol, countries from which natural resources are obtained for commercial developments are entitled to compensation. It also ensures indigenous knowledge from groups such as the Maroons, Rastafarians, and Amerindians can be credited and compensated if their traditional knowledge has been used for commercial purposes. Caribbean islands are putting the Nagoya Protocol in their legislative framework to safeguard their country's biodiversity and traditional knowledge. Let us all work together to protect our resources, do valuable research, and reap the benefits of sustainable bioprospecting in the region.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
I have a genuine love for plants. If you have a love or a passion for something, I honestly believe you can organize it in a way where you can get money from it. There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
but you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believe in ourselves and our families believe in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity while we are all here doing what we're doing now.
My name is Andrew Blair. Flourish Landscaping is a small landscaping business, and we currently engage in 4 main business activities. We sell ornamental or flowering plants. We also sell fruit trees. We also engage in the business of renting plants for any functions, be it graduation or for office purposes. We also engage in the business of lawn designing and which is a small facet to it as well, we also do lawn maintenance. From my high school days, I haven't been able to become employed. It's not that I haven't been trying, but I understand that currently the labor market in Jamaica is in shambles, so it's very, very hard. Also, it was an inspiration from a close friend of mine who has been doing the business for over some 15 years. As a student of the university, just an outlook on his activities and how he has been progressing throughout those 15 years, I really felt that he could have achieved more, just that it was not organized in a business fashion. So, inspiration from him, also the necessity to find employment in Jamaica. I have a genuine love for plants. So, and then after a while, the love grew into something. I thought that, you know, I really can make money off this, because after growing plants for myself and giving away plants, and the comments I got from persons I give plants, or if I go by someone's house and did a little landscaping, just out of the love for it, would get comments that, you know, you could really do this for a living and so forth. So that included the how to as well. The startup process was very long. While I attended the University of the West Indies and I resided on Taylor Hall, me and a roommate of mine, who is actually now a business partner and advertising manager for the company. So I always had plants in front of my room, and we started to sell plants from there. Not very much 1 and 2 person, and it wasn't very regular. Like if we sell a plant this month, we probably won't sell one for the next 2 months or so. But you know, that was the starting up. And then while I was attending the university, I didn't live full time on all. So during the weekends, I would come back home to Clarendon, and where I had plants mostly, where I would actually set plants to, you know, create new plants from those plants I would get from my next business partner who inspired me to do the business. He had a lot of plants by his house, and he was in the business, so to speak, selling plants already. So I just got plants from him and set plants, and he actually gave me some plants to add to the collection and so forth. And from there it grew. I decided that it would not be good for us to start up with a loan from a financial institution, in the sense that we were not working as much to secure the payback of the loan. So what we did was to get loans from personal savings and from family members and from ourselves, so, and add together and buy pots as they needed, and potting bags and fertilizers and so forth. And we have been growing steadily. So far, we have done 3 successful staging at the Denby Agricultural Show, where more than half of the plants we brought for sale were sold, and we actually made, on the 3 occasions, we actually made contact with actually 5 customers that sought to do business with us other than selling plants or buying plants from us. We actually did lawns and lawn maintenance. A very diverse team. Me, myself, the CEO, I'm a historian and philosopher. I'm actually pursuing a master's in heritage studies. My next business partner, Giovanni Dennis, is actually a graduate of the university too. He has a degree in media and communications, and he's also pursuing a master's in philosophy. My other business partner, Ken Roy, he has more than 20 years of experience in the business. He hasn't had any formal training, but his experience is extensive. Also, other team members such as Keemar Brooks, he is our graphics designer, because we want to take the business other than just selling, and we want to break into the internet business, our marketing. So we have a graphics designer and /IT personnel. So he is in charge of our IT regarded issues and so forth. We have others who also work with us like manual labor and who are actually landscapers, I would say, such as Darren Bartley and Dean Kelly. And, you know, not a big team, but it's growing. During the starting up of the company, one of the main challenges we faced, or our challenge we faced, was the expertise of our team. Remember I said I'm actually a historian, so I was really out of my depth. My business partner, Giovanni Dennis, he was out of his depth as well. It was only just Ken Ryan, he only had experience to show us, you know. So one of the things was, we didn't know much about landscaping at the beginning. Another challenge was actually the funding. Everybody know business take funding to start up and to actually maintain and the running. So, and then we were still in university, paying bills for university. So, and then I wasn't working, or Giovanni Dennis wasn't working either. It was just Ken Ryan. And then, you know, we used to combine and see what we could achieve with the collective effort. One of the main challenges facing us right now is the availability of water. During the daytime, water is very low, the pressure is very low, so it's very hard to even water plants, even in the early morning. So personally, I have to wait up like until it's about 10 or so before I can actually get good pressure in the pipe so I can water the amount of plants we have currently. Another major problem we're facing right now is to attract new customers, but we have been making some headway in that we have been advertising. We have been advertising hard. We are currently on Facebook, and we are also in the online yellow pages, and we are currently trying to get up an Instagram page, and we are trying to get other interviews such as the one currently being done. The main life lessons I've learned so far since the starting up of this company is that the true value of friends.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
One of the main life lessons I've learned so far since the starting up of this company is that the true value of friends, and when the collective efforts of individuals that are friends. Honestly, there's a philosophy that I really don't subscribe to, where they say that friends and business do not mix, and family and business do not mix. I honestly disagree with that philosophy or that way of thinking, simply because of the successes that we have achieved so far. Everybody involved in the company so far is actually a family member or a close relative or a friend that I've known for several years. And I honestly believe that the chemistry that we have working together so far can do so much more. We just need to get some more resources and some more time to show what we can do together. Staying motivated is not easy as a young entrepreneur, you know, when you're facing so much challenges. However, what I normally do is just really think of my mother and the struggles she's facing now, and how much I really want to assist in that way. So I really need a job. If I can't really find one that's really not the end of it, I'm just going to have to make one. So my motivation is really my mother and trying to make her worry less. Currently our location, we have a love-hate relationship with it, in the sense that we love that it's convenient to me that it's my house, so I can be available to look at the plants and maintain them and so forth. Also, the individuals we currently employ actually live in and around my community, so if we get work, it's easy for workers to come to work and we can organize to move from this point to wherever the work is. Other than that, it's very challenging to be here. Mainly, people can't really find us easily, and if this is a business, you need to be accessible to customers, and we are aware that we are not that accessible to customers now. Also, other than that, we would like to do other stuff with the landscape itself, which currently this present landscape can't really provide. We have other ideas such as these we would like to set up on our site or our place of business, so when customers come, because we do, as we say, sell more, we do more than just sell and rent plants. So you can come and actually view our expertise and you can know that Flourish Landscaping did this, or, you know. You can notice we are trying to build a rock garden, so it's really a rock garden based on the type of plants you plant in the garden. Mainly drought-resistant plants, plants that you don't really have to water much, because it won't be much soil in the garden as much, it will be mainly rocks. So you want plants that can actually survive the drought and can do well in stony areas. We sell a variety of plants, you know, we try not to limit ourselves to a certain amount of plants. However, we are trying to make our flagship plant Crown of Thorns. We are actually the self-proclaimed kings of Crown of Thorns. We have 2,500 Crown of Thorns and about 15 different varieties. So we are trying to use that as our flagship plant, so we plan to always have every type of Crown of Thorns, every variety and so forth. We actually have ferns also, we also do orchids and roses. We also have mango trees, oranges, plants in general. A busy day would include us going to actually 3 different locations in Clarendon where we'd go cut the lawn. We'll also border out the lawn so you can actually view the plants different from the grass itself, you know, give it that uniform look. Other than that, we actually do the sale of plants, so persons might come by and ask for plants, or actually individuals personally that I know. Also, we have about 3 customers that has been with us since the inception of the company. And they actually come by on a regular to buy plants, actually new plants that we have, you know, plants that they would have wanted, but at the time they came before, they didn't have the money to get, or didn't have, you know, so they come back. So our average busy day, cutting 3 lawns from about 8 o'clock till about 5 in the evening. We actually employed about 7 persons to the company now. So it's profitable in that sense, profitable, and could be, more could be earned from it. In a sense that we could, if we are more organized and we have more work available to us, yeah man, a lot of profits could be made, not just locally, also overseas. The ultimate dream is to become actually the first multinational Jamaican landscaping company operating with its headquarters in Jamaica, but supplying plants and doing landscaping on a global scale.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up a Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
The landscaping industry in Jamaica is very disorganized in the sense that personally, all the landscapers I know or know of are just individuals that sell plants, or individuals that cut lawns, or individuals that do actually aspects of landscaping. It's very rare, or actually I think about 2 to 3 general landscaping companies in Jamaica, and not much has been done to organize the industry. I think it's because of the location and just the general lack of love for plants in general. In Jamaica, I don't think people in Jamaica genuinely love plants. They just see it and just, unless you're a farmer, you won't really care much about how you get the fruit. You just want to know it's the fruit. but you don't really give much how the trees maintain or so forth. So I think that's another problem that's affecting the industry at the moment. One of the main responsibilities of government in general is to help small industries become organized. So they should actually put in place policies to make sure that, or to make available funding for actually, just as how they provide funding for farmers specifically, they could actually provide funding for landscapers, you know, to start landscaping companies, not in the sense just for Jamaican purposes with our hotels in the north side, you know, but also for the purpose of exporting, as I say, we want our company to reach. So other than implementing policies that would provide funding, they could also create some opportunities for landscaping work to be done in Jamaica. For example, with all the new hotels being built in Jamaica, probably Jamaican landscaping companies ought to be preferred to work on those or transform the landscape or maintain even the landscape in those areas. Upkeep of plants, it depends specifically on the plant. Say for example, a crown of thorn plant, our flagship plant. Watering is very easy. It doesn't require that much water, so you can water it like once every week. For fertilizer purposes, we are going organic, so we just use manure, dried manure, and you don't have to fertilize it very often for it to grow or bloom. You can just fertilize it like once every month. About a handful of manure. Be it chicken, fowl or cow, and then you just add it near the roots and take something to just mold up and make sure that it mixes with the dirt for the plant to get it. Then you wet it. So it depends on the plant. Presently, one of the reasons why we are only growing steadily is because of our lack of capital to invest in the business to grow and attract new customers and to get other resources such as more machines such as walkers to help our lawnmowers to help with the work. So other than that, it's also a mix of labor intensive in that it's actually individuals that need to actually go and plant the grass, because even our way of planting grass, you actually have to remove manually with hoes and forks the bad grass you don't want and actually plant the actual land grass. So it's mostly labor intensive, but it has aspects of capital involved as well. To my knowledge, I'm only aware of one agency where you, if as an individual you could get training to become a landscaper, and that is at the Harchess NTA. They offer, I think it's a 3-month course, and after that you get a certificate to be a certified landscaper. Other than that, and then even in the sense that Hart offers it, it is not advertised as much as the other certificates that the company offers. So it's not, you don't really hear about it unless somebody else tells you about it that actually knows about it. We are trying to expand and try and get some more residential areas to do landscaping. Presently we did about 5 already, so we are trying to increase that number, and 2 customers specifically has been giving us some feedback about 2 other houses they would like us to do landscaping. So the ultimate dream is to become actually the first multinational Jamaican landscaping company operating with its headquarters in Jamaica, but supplying plants and doing landscaping on a global scale. Anywhere possible we could do that. In a sense, we would like to be the modern day Royal Kew Garden of the 19th century. If you are not sure about it, that's just a little history lesson. That garden was responsible for several hundreds of the plants in the Caribbean. It was from there during its the colonial days of the Caribbean. It was from the Royal Kew Gardens in England, which supplied the plants, even the sugar canes that were planted that, you know, to build sugar. So we're actually trying to create a vision like such as that, or a company such as that in a modern sense, that we can do from Jamaica, we can sell plants via the internet or so forth, or if needs be, we can do like farm work process, or say, farm work going on now, where you actually send Jamaicans from here to go work on farms in Canada. We can actually export labor in that sense by landscaping, you know, export landscapers from Jamaica to hotels overseas or to golf courses overseas, you know, on a monthly basis. As I can remember an interview I watched one time with the business mogul, Jay-Z, and he said, one of the things that made him successful so much is that everything that he has been doing so far, he actually loves it before he actually pursued it as a business. So that is my tip. You know, actually, if you have a love or a passion for something, I honestly believe you can organize it in a way where you can get money from it. And if you love it, you will do it until that time, till you can organize it. And it won't really matter to you how much you really collect from a job per se, because it's deeper than just collecting money. You actually want to see your work and your expertise grow, so you actually do it for fun.
Despite the obvious problems of the education system, a number of individuals and corporate partners, including communications technology provider Carousel, are demonstrating that vision and commitment can go a long way to creating new models for development.
Union Gardens Infant School have been around from September 2015, and we're one of those schools we're embarking on ICT use in schools to enhance early childhood education.
Not your typical inner-city early childhood institution. Here, harsh concrete is supplanted by both synthetic turf and real trees and shrubs.
Our benefactor is Mr. Glenn Christian. I heard a funny story before coming here, that the children used to play in the street and he didn't like that. And so he decided that he must do something, and came up with the vision of building an environment that they can take pride in. As you look around, this is no ordinary infant school. We have some facilities here that you don't see in other infant schools around.
But like many schools of its type, schools faced by a serious challenge, connectivity being one of the main ones. Principal Grace Ann Moss Solomon is new to the post, but very familiar with the kinds of challenges presented.
When I just came in, we had no internet service. Prior to me coming here, I understand that the service that they had before was terminated for over a year. We had no internet, no telephone service. The principal at the time, she would respond to emails at home, and sometimes that would cause a little bit of trouble because people send things and they need instant answer. The ministry sends us information via email. That's how they communicate with you on a regular basis, and so she wouldn't actually see these emails until she gets home, and she lives far.
Merlene Thompson, who has been with the school since inception, remembers having to make do with the old chalk talk presentation and materials.
Here, before we had internet, the lesson wasn't as interactive as you would have expected it to be. It was just a lesson. But since we got internet, it is more interactive. The children have something they can look at. When you bring your laptop and set up the thing, they can actually see what is happening. Because you know, we have children with different learning styles. So some learn by auditory, some learn by visual. So when some see it, they really understand what is going on.
Carousel has, in fact, been a principal provider of ICT services and internet connectivity to several schools in the wider area.
My name is Tian Bennett, and I'm the teacher librarian at Seaward Primary and Junior High School. The Carousel is strategically located at different points, so it doesn't matter which class I'm in. I can say, all right, those of you who have your tablets, take out your tablets. Those of you who have your phone, and we're going to be looking at X topic, and then we can just navigate the internet from anywhere in the school, and that is just a good thing and a good experience.
I, for one, use the service because I teach children on Saturdays and Sundays, and I would ask them to research things right there on spot, and they'll be able to research and provide information. So what this does, it allows the children to have information on their fingertip, which also helps to enhance teaching and learning.
The thing I notice when you're using other service, if the rain falls, the service goes.
you have problem getting the service. But in using Claricel, whether it rains or not, we have our 3 bars, and it's very good.
I actually work at Seward Primary and Junior High. I'm the cook here. I have direct access to the internet. We use it for meal planning. We surf the internet, we look at YouTube videos, cooking.
The introduction of reliable data service has proven another reason for parents to love the institution, just as Sharika Hunter Ellis, mother to 4-year-old Nathan, does.
The internet would be useful in terms of helping them with their coursework as well as their homework. Parents can benefit from it as well in getting tips on how to be a good parent, and based on, for me, it will give me tips on how to educate my child more and help him with his homework as well. So it will be very useful.
And the school's reach goes beyond the classrooms and into the surrounding communities, with older children and adults coming in to make use of the facility.
Recently, the internet within the entire area was down. So we had a few parents coming over here to ask us, well, what are you guys doing? How come you have internet the same way? And we explained to them that we had a different service. We had Claricel using. And so a few of them brought their kids who are in other schools, high school, primary school, and they came by, and the students were allowed to use the internet in the evenings to do homework. A few of them were here just to play around, to use the internet. But, the fact is that it was serving the community.
We have students from other schools in the community. You would see them here after school in the evenings. They are making use of our internet service. Persons from the community would come here on weekends as well, and they make use of the internet. The children, they are able to go on it outside of class time as well, which is good, but we try to monitor what they would access.
Claricel, a technology provider of excellence to the benefit of the community and future generations.
Claricel came at a time when we really needed internet service for teaching and learning in the classroom. So we embraced it. When it came, the teachers embrace it because now they are able to use the internet in the classroom. They don't necessarily have to download things prior to learning.
Since we have gotten the internet, I must say that there is a great enthusiasm about learning, having access to different resources via the internet. You just see a difference in the students as to how they approach, finding out new information.
Before we had the internet service, we had problems using our laptops, getting e-stories to our children. And there are other things in the curriculum that we needed to use the internet with, and we could not because we didn't have any service. And it was free. So, it was very much appreciated. So thanks to Claricel, they have made it so much easier for us.
We could not meet our demand, and we lost the light owing $72,000. And whether you want to believe it, yes or no, a man struggling and still yet he saw it fit to write a check for $40,000 to the Trinitarian Basic School so that we are able now to have light.
This is the best internet service that we have received in this community. We have no problems with this service. The teachers use it every single day. In fact, there are several persons who have spoken to read this Claricel service, and indeed, this service is excellent.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m.